Dark and moody, moody and dark. It's been real from the start. Speak the truth, then you playing your part. Nothing fake here. We've been real since daycare. Some change, some stay there. Came from the streets, we speak for the streets, we speak for the youth. Nothing but truth. Feel it in the booth, feel it in your soul, feel it in the cell, feel it on parole, feel it on probation, feel it when you free, totally free. Pardon me, till they pardon me, till they pardon we. Positivity from negativity, back to positivity. The podcast for the streets, helping you eat. We live by the code, we live what we speak. We revolutionize real love, honor, respect, loyalty, educating the masses, bringing unity. It's all or nothing. The podcast for you and me is Dark and Moody. We the voices of the community.
I hear voices right now. I can hear them just as plain as day.
Yeah. What up? This your boy Dark.
And it's your boy D Moody, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's Dark and Moody, all or nothing. You feel me?
Connecticut stand up, man. We got Hartford back in the building, man.
You know what I'm saying?
But he'll tell you, man, he don't really rep a certain town. So, introduce yourself, brother.
Yeah, I used to say in the joint, man, I was born on international waters, but I love Hartford because that was like stomping grounds from Clyde. You know what I mean? Just out here trying to live and experience life the best way possible.
Word up. Big Clyde in the building, man. You know what I'm saying?
Big Clyde ain't no ordinary dude, man. He's a dude that inside prison, he was working with the True program, which is a program that for our youth that's in there, and
yeah, he gonna explain it. He gonna tell the people about it. You know what I'm saying?
But we gonna say where he grew up.
Yeah, we gonna tell the people like where you from, like where you was born, where you was raised at, and all that. Let the people hear that. I know you on international waters and all that, but tell the people, man.
My parents from Jamaica, man. Like, they from Jamaica. Nobody know at one time. I don't know if it's the same today. Like Hartford is the top 5 Jamaican population in the nation. So a lot of immigrants came to Hartford into that poverty. But yeah, I was raised and
that's why they be having those tropical parades and all that.
Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, it's a real because they had the sugar cane company up there in Windsor, so they used to come down here to chop sugar canes.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So it's just the echoes of slavery.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So came down here to work and just try to find a better way. But yeah, that's where I'm from, man. Just like New Haven.
So where you from? You was born in Jamaica or you was born?
No, I was born in Hartford. I was born around the Avenue area.
Okay.
I was raised around Western Street.
Yeah.
You know what's Western Street? We don't know what that is. What's Western Street?
It's on the north end. It's like back then it was like you got Capon Street, Enfield Street, and then you got everything from Enfield Street going down to Western Street. Then you got Chappelle, Nelton Court, Stowe Village.
Okay. Around that, them neck of the woods. Yeah. So people from Hartford, if they claiming you, if they be like, yo, where Clyde? Yo, you know Clyde? Where Clyde from? What they gonna say?
Western Street.
They gonna say, yo, he from Western Street.
Yeah, well, that nigga just bugged out.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So what was it? What you do growing up? Like what Clyde was into as a kid, as a youth? Let's go back to middle school.
When we was running the streets, it was like a little bit different for me, man. We started playing football and basketball, running from pole to pole, the era that I came from.
Yeah.
And then the streets started.
Where is that?
Like, the late 70s, early 80s.
How old you see?
51.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ain't that much older than Moody.
You're around there too, dude. You somewhere close.
He older than me.
Yeah, you was in that motherfucker for a long time. Bro. So you gotta be somewhere near there.
Yeah, finish though. I'm the youngest at the table.
Yeah, so it was just like coming up around that area, same shit, just like any other hood, like me personally, like playing football, basketball, and then eventually like your man had a fight with somebody from down here, and then that shit just they fight at school, and next thing you know, that shit done escalated into something that stem back from before we was even born.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the sides of town already be beefing.
Yeah.
It's a history to that shit. You beefing and you don't even know the root of that shit.
That's everywhere.
Yeah, so like, you know what I mean? And that shit is just a continuation, but just coming up in that. Now, you know, me personally, I was always like on the outside of things. I'm like,
Yo, saying that though, like these big gangs, I'm just gonna go there for a minute and then we're gonna come back. Like these big gangs like the Bloods and the Crips, right? They don't get along over color pretty much and a territory or the name of a street. And I guarantee you a lot of these people who claim to be Blood or claim to be Crip don't know the history of why them two cliques or gangs don't get along. And America probably started it because you got the Republicans and the Democrat. One is a blue elephant and a red elephant and a blue donkey. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing.
So I read a book in the drink, right? And I was lucky to get this book. And the dude was a Nazi.
Yeah.
But I learned to read like ideas and see that, yo, this dude writing this that. And I read Hobbes, right? So when you think about it, yo, just like you said, like these European nations, they're undergirded by violence, right? So now at the end of the day, if you got a space that's undergirded by violence, and then you got the state that says it has a monopoly on violence, right? And that the monopoly on violence is supposed to be legitimate. So, yo, we want to protect people that operate and behave the way that we want. Flip that you've been born in poverty and you try to live out of necessity, right? Dudes and me and Moody was talking about this earlier. Like, if you ain't got the ability to articulate what you're experiencing, you live that shit out. Most dudes that get money in the street, these dudes is dudes of action. They think about it. They ain't gotta have no whole bunch of language. They know how to move to get what they need to get. So what dudes do, they operate just like the state do. You get a monopoly on violence. And then these gangs is formed just like the state. They got a hierarchy. So dudes is taking on, this is why, yo, like I've even been questioning the idea of chess. You know what I'm saying? That's a game of state. It got rules. Like, and at the end of the day, the pawns is protecting the rich. You dig what I'm saying? So the game itself is telling you like, yo, to always be strategic. And that's why we can't relate with each other. The only way I can relate with you if I know you're going to protect me. I don't care about that other shit. Think about it, man. Most of the dudes, when we come up in the street, they ain't really thinking about, but unless, if a dude punch him in the face, he ain't part of the clique no more. You know what I'm saying? And I learned that in Hartford. Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, like, if you don't fight, you know what I'm saying? You're going to be looked at in a certain kind of way. Yeah, but if you rumble, if you move into a new neighborhood and you rumble,
I've been there.
At the bottom of it, what the dude know, yo, this is a real nigga here, protect me, and I'm going to protect him. So we already taking on these things of living just like the state operates. Yeah. So, but dudes ain't articulating it, bro. Word. You dig what I'm saying? And that's what's so ill about us being in the joint, because yo, you keep we was in the joint with the ability to stop and think. Out here, you ain't got time to really.
You just moved in the joint because you let them know that you've been in the joint. We ain't get to you in the joint yet. How long you spent in the joint?
I have 50 years.
Yeah. And
I did 27 years and 6 months. They took 22 years off my sentence.
So you did 27 years?
No, and they ain't getting no time and they ain't taking no time.
How much time?
26 years and 7 months.
26 years?
26 years and 7 months. Yeah, that 5 months means something.
Yeah, yo, everybody out here be like, yo, I'm gonna sign you to be like, yo, I did this much, 300 weeks, in 7 days. Yeah. Why do you think people do that?
Because at the end of the day, yo, we know what time is, nigga. Yeah. The illest Jew I got was from one of yo. That's why I fuck with niggas. Even if we ain't cool, though, I gotta talk to niggas that was in the joint, bro. You dig what I'm saying? Because we understand shit. The first Jew that I got, my boy Nan said to me, he said, "Yo," I told him about, I'm taking this shit home, I'm doing this, that, and that. He said, "Yo, listen to me, yo." He said, "Yo, the most important thing we got is time, bro." He said, "Yo, you hear me?" He had to reiterate it.
Yeah.
We know what it means we lost time, bro. We ain't lose no time, because if you've been thinking and but yo, you know what time means.
You lost freedom.
And time is inextricably tied up with freedom.
No doubt.
I can get in my car right now and go where the fuck I want to go. No but doubt. If I allow people to take my time, I ain't gonna have nothing for myself.
Absolutely. Yeah. All right, so but we're gonna come back there because that's a joke. Boom. We in middle school. You know what I mean? Take me there. What you played football, basketball, baseball, running from pole to pole. What's that? What's running from pole to pole?
You know, I don't know. Everybody play hide and go get when they were like 8, 9, 10 years
Hide and
old.
go get. That's when you go try to get the bug.
Yeah, you hide and get it. But you also playing other games.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
And yo, that's why we so threatening to these motherfuckers. Think about Everson Jazz, right? We play in the hood. And then we create things out of that play. We created hip hop, we created all this other shit. But yo, when we was in the hood, that's what we doing. We playing. And we'll find a way to like compete. You run from pole to pole, or you play football, or you play basketball, you play baseball. We always competing with each other. It's kind of fucks up our relationality. But that's what I was doing during middle school. I got kicked out of middle school. There's dudes in the hood.
Yeah. I've been there too. How about you?
What?
Kicked out of middle school.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I ain't get kicked out of middle school. I got kicked out of high school.
I got back in middle school though, but once upon a time they kicked me out of the school for wow.
You graduated?
From high school in prison.
Graduated?
In prison.
Yeah, that was my middle school years, like 7th, 8th grade, and that's when the beef like really started. Like we don't even understand the beef that's going on. But even in middle school, dudes from the Avenue, and I grew up around the dudes. But if I'm living on Western Street now and I'm not moving around, like the vibe is already there. So now little things just start accruing in the shit, dude fight, but the tension is already there. Like that's ill how dudes be having that shit in their head and they don't even know why. You've been hearing stories, probably going to the store, and you just know what's going on.
You ever had a situation like moving from a side of town, right? And you cool with a dude from whatever, Western Street or whatever. You moved from Western Street before or to Western Street?
I moved to West.
All right, from wherever you was from before, you had a friend. Like y'all was friends, cool, see each other, go to school, everything. And then you moved to Western Street or whatever, and he moved somewhere else. And this place don't get along with this place. But y'all was friends where y'all both lived over here. But now y'all not friends no more because he live over here and you over here. You ever had something like that?
No, not really, because like I was always like a loner type of dude. I fuck with niggas,
Yeah.
but I be having love for niggas.
Yeah.
But I just move in a way like, yo, you know, like I'm just me, yo. So sometimes I might be rubbing niggas wrong. I don't know what it is, but I always feel like a space between me and people. So I ain't never really been through that because, like, you know, I got a degree of paranoia and all that shit, especially from being in the joint. But yeah, so to answer your question, that's what it is. But I understand that shit too.
Yeah. I didn't understand it as a youth coming up because I moved from the island to Ashland Street. I got cool with them dudes over there because I fought all of them. They knew I'd scrap out. So the protecting thing, like you said, we became friends. So then when they knocked the high rises down in New Haven, we had the high rises, they knocked them down. They placed people different spots. So I went back home to the island. And this kid that I was cool with went to the G. When the island and the G was beefing,
He ain't want to talk to you no more?
he wasn't my friend no more. But when I seen him, I was happy to see him. I ain't seen him since Ashland Street. So I seen him one day coming out of this joint. I was like, yo, what up? He threw his hands up. He was like, what up, what up? I was like, oh.
Yo, I went to college in prison, right? And yo, you know how you come from the hood and you hear about fictions and shit. So you be like, nah, I ain't reading that shit fiction.
Yeah.
But going to school, I learned that them fictions had the illest jewels in them blue. Anyway, reading something about ridicule, like the rich people, that like they ridicule you to keep you in place. So then, as soon as I read that shit, I remember one day I went to work and with my boy Little G, we rolling up a blunt and pull up on the block and shit. So I had some boots on, but they ain't had a Tim tree on them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So niggas pulled me up, they ranking on me and shit, like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh shit, yo, we live in an environment where nigga don't even see me, nigga. You only see what I got. You ain't even seeing me. That means your psychology in me is constructed from the outside with the same people that were slave masters.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If I ain't got on no brand name shit, these people, and we suffering. Like, if I ain't got that, like, I ain't even valuable, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So now, yo, it go back to fear. Yo, you live on it, you go, you move, you might be a real nigga. Like Moody was just telling me, if I fuck with a nigga, I fuck with a nigga. Especially if we was in the joint. Y'all probably was beefing with niggas and you realize that, damn, this nigga a real nigga, man.
Yeah.
We beefing and killing each other. This nigga real as a motherfucker. And we ain't never get a chance to communicate.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, yo, when you see yourself through the eyes of others, through the eyes of the streets, and you can't really see yourself through the eyes of people that love you, some dudes never had somebody that loved them. So now when you get motherfuckers, you live in it and you move, yo, a motherfucker defend that, even though he might have love for you, but he really scared at the bottom. And at the end of the day, most niggas that know how to react in the joint, you know what niggas just say, man, you lost the beast in you, nigga. That means that, yo, you wasn't able to turn your fear to rage and react, nigga. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, bro. So now, like, if that was a reaction, he didn't go to rage, he probably just went to fear. He probably ain't processed that shit, because if he would have went to rage, it would have blacked out, I'm gonna react. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's what it is, bro. We come up in these environments, and the way we living, you got ridicule in the background. A motherfucker ridiculing you, what they doing. That nigga a weirdo, he this. That nigga just being him. But at the end of the day, it's telling everybody how to act if you want to be a part of this shit.
Yeah. So if you outside of their norm, you're not normal.
You're not normal.
Yeah.
And you can't be a part of this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You don't want no weirdos with us.
We don't want no weirdo. And you don't even know what a weirdo is. Because if you really like, yo, imagine when niggas was getting money and you got the weirdo that's a motherfucking nerd, but he's smart as hell.
Yeah.
You'd have been giving them that money to figure out how to run some of this shit, figure out some of this shit in the hood. That same motherfucker come from the same environment. He just taking a different choice, but he got the same experience, and he probably seeing it more than you. And if you were smart like they is, you use that money to develop your neighborhood.
No doubt.
I know I went off on the spit.
Nah, it's what it is, man. It's about we having dialogue.
These Jews that you talk about, we talked about in the car. I used to provide the youngest in this Jew. Tell us about the program that was in Cheshire that you was involved in. That's where I was seeing you at. We both was in Wesleyan College. You know what I'm saying? So don't think he going crazy. He a college student.
I am going crazy. But yo, we was in the college program taking these classes, just learning. It's just like when they went into Africa and they stole the books. Now we getting access to books that we would have never got. But it wasn't only access to books. You got hood niggas sitting there that sometimes can't even figure it out. But yo, you looking at it like, yo, they trying to hide something from us. So now we coming together trying to figure out what this shit telling us. So now we building relationality just on sitting there kicking it on some text that makes sense. So that's where a lot of that shit come from.
Yeah, but when they started the program, the True program.
Well, the True program, you know, they have the Lifers group. You have dudes in the Lifers group, and they came. And what we used to do up there is use some of that stuff that we learned in college to develop programs that we felt like would help the young dudes. So one of the programs that I created, but you know, the brothers always helped me, so I don't want to take full credit of it.
You was doing this in Cheshire?
Yeah, in Cheshire, yeah. And we was dealing with the 18 to 25. And you know, initially they was like, yo, you bring these dudes up here, they're responsible for 33 to 35% of the violence in the whole prison system. So they felt like them dudes was gonna come up there and then it wasn't gonna work. So, you know, 6 years going on, them dudes ain't commit no violence. So one of the programs that we had, we used to take what dudes listen to because, you know, hip hop kind of like articulate their reality. But they not thinking about it, they just following it. But if you really listen to what dudes be saying, it's a philosophy in that shit. It's a logic. You know what I'm saying? And you start to really think about your experiences and you start to build the capacity, what we were talking about earlier, to think about your environment, man. And think about, like, you know, use music as a medium to understand how you can transform and change shit rather than just falling into somebody else's pain. Because the dudes is hurt just like you hurt, but at the same time, because you caught in the pain, you not really when they wrote that song, they was really analyzing what they want to say, but you just falling right into it. We stop and say, yo, think about this shit in relation to your experience and see the world in a different way.
And that's what you taught them.
I tried to teach them because I don't know what they learned. You know what I mean?
You was a mentor.
Yeah,
I was there. You was a mentor.
Yeah.
Big Clyde was a mentor. You know, you had the 18-year-olds. I remember we beat y'all in basketball.
Yeah.
Moody crazy.
We ain't beat y'all basketball
Yeah,
sophomore.
yeah.
Okay. Let's you this is a remind y'all. They try to play the old fellas.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And you was the old fella.
It was all B, Tyson.
Yeah.
Tyson nice.
No, I ain't talking about the
Yeah, we
team.
know. Yeah,
You said they was trying to beat the old fellas.
Yeah, and I was the youngest on the team.
And you was the old fella.
I was the youngest.
You've been saying that all night, Moody.
I was the youngest on the team.
I mean, he's the youngest on the team.
Tyson older than me.
Yeah. All right. But
Tyson
just-
home?
Nah, that's all good.
Nice.
It's a dialogue, man. We
Shout out to
dialogue.
Tyson, man.
Yo, this is Dark and Moody, all or nothing, man. We talking about everything or nothing, man. You know, it's what it is, man. Whatever your topics we want to touch on, we build it, man. We talking about like we try to tell the people, you gotta know your past if you're gonna know your future, man. You know what I mean? You gotta know what history is. They teach history. So history is history, man. You know what I mean?
But yo, the ill shit about like being in the joint, you know, sometimes we take it for granted, right? I don't really know you like that.
Yeah.
But I used to hear about you all the time from flipping with New Haven dude.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So even without meeting a hood dude that's from a different place, I kind of like know you, bro.
Yeah.
You dig what I'm saying? So that's we take that for granted, bro. You dig what I'm saying? And that's just ill, man. So you know what I mean? I think that comes from whatever your character is too, though.
Yeah.
Quiet.
Yeah.
Me, I'm a quiet guy.
Jail quiet.
I'm jail quiet.
What's that?
I didn't deal with
nobody.
I didn't deal with people in prison. Certain people.
Only projects.
Only the people I knew. My project dudes, but it's dudes that came outside of people from outside of the PJs that I felt was like really cool. I got close to
Buku, Matrix.
Buku from Harlem?
Yeah.
Buku. Official dude.
Free Buku,
That's
man.
my guy.
Buku.
Free Buku. That's
man.
Corey Turner, man. That's my
Corey
guy.
Turner.
man.
Free his brother too, man.
Hama, man.
Hama.
Yeah.
Free Hama, man.
Yeah.
Me and Buku got mad tight. That's my guy. He called me official bill. Yeah, so you know, I got close to some official dudes. Some people, to me, they movements was funny. So when I seen funny movements, I don't want to be a part of it. I know I don't want to get I don't want to say my heart broken, but it's to that. You understand?
Yeah.
Like you think somebody official and then you find out they not. So you became mad close and cool with somebody who was pretending to be official and then they not. So I had myself in a reclusive place analyzing people. Then I seen certain dudes was official. I rocked with them. But I rocked on the basketball court. I played ball, so I had a lot of relationships because of basketball. You know what I mean? And then there was dudes who I seen who played chess. I played chess. You know what I mean? So
One thing I learned in the joint that was beautiful about it, never want to go back, is that the real dudes respect dudes that is themselves. Even if somebody that you wouldn't even call, somebody that don't want to get in no problems or none of that, you know, somebody, ignorant dude to call them a pussy. But if you moving and you're not violating any rules and you being yourself, the real dudes respect you for that.
No problem.
But am I right though, Moody?
Yeah, I ain't
You know
getting
what I'm saying? That's a
You got any problems?
not really.
You went down because your cousin.
What you mean?
Well, Dion and them.
Oh yeah, I had a.
Not saying now. I'm saying problem with the. You know, you have problems inside the. I'm saying problem with the administration. Like.
Nah, I ain't really had no problems with them dudes like that. I stayed. I did me. You know what I mean? I was the asshole. People who say, "Yo, that dude asshole," but I really wasn't. I just don't fuck with everybody.
Yo, the person that's here to be interviewed, can I ask y'all a question?
Yeah.
You get one.
How it
You
felt?
get one. You get one.
How it felt to come home?
For me,
Yeah, because I know that y'all wasn't supposed to come home. That was just a fight, and
yeah. I mean, for me, you know, it was surreal. It was like,
A movie.
yeah, like a movie. Pretty much. I always thought that I'd get out of prison. Like I kept that fight in me, so I didn't think I would do my bid, the whole entire bid. But to have that reality, it was different. It was different. And a lot of people would never know that feeling, to have life knowing you'll never come home again, to get that freedom. So it's different. A lot of, even people who did a lot of time can't relate to that. Just can't. You know what I mean?
Feel every day you're gonna die in that motherfucker, and then you got shit to do.
And then you hear it. You know what I mean?
And I was a celly, so I witnessed the other side, the pain, the baby mama drama, the family, the happiness, the sadness. So I sat there with him. You know what I mean? So I saw that, just like he saw mine.
Word up. Well, yo, and then being incarcerated, yo, it's crazy because a lot of people turn their back on you. You got family members, siblings, cousins, and all that a lot of people don't hear from during their bid. That's not everybody's story. But some people's story. But back to you, brother. Boom. We we in Cheshire, right? We in Cheshire. You created the program. You created the program?
No,
He was a part of the program. Who created the program?
I got to shout out my boys out, man. One of the realest dudes, I love this dude, man. O'Neal, Caesar O'Neal, Yellow from Bridgeport.
Shout out Yellow, man.
He was like the. I'm gonna give him the, and this is what we don't do enough as brothers. He was the leader. He was like the. He know how to organize. Yeah, he get his flowers. You know what I mean? And I tell him personally. You know what I'm saying? That dude come home and do amazing. You know what I mean? Some of the dudes that do the most horrible shit come home and doing the most greatest shit. Because one thing we know in prison, you got the imagination, that's the breath of God. And now you out here, don't let the world stunt that. But he was like the pioneer a lot of this.
Yeah.
We was together, we did our own thing, but he was the type of person, he can bring people. I don't care if he don't fuck with you. Yeah. He see the biggest goal and he gonna come talk to you. How we gonna bring this together? Now, I mean, dude need to be coming out here and run for politics.
I know Yellow, yeah. Market brother.
Yeah, yeah. So Yellow, James Davis, Dave X, Conrad came up there.
Conrad's still there. I'm gonna call him later.
Yeah.
One of the most official dudes, like Conrad just got an ill spirit with him, good energy, like you meet dudes in there. But yeah, he was part of it. Ray C, Floyd X. If you really did time, everybody in the joint know who Floyd X is.
Floyd supposed to come on the show. Floyd, if you watch it, you know my phone number.
Come on, Floyd, man.
That was my mentor.
Yeah, I never met Floyd, but I heard good things about him.
So, I don't want to take too much time. All the brothers, if I mention your name, I just wanted to mention some key brothers because things happen and people forget about them.
So who created the True Program and what the True Program stand for? Because it's an acronym.
Truthfulness, respectfulness, understanding, and elevation. So them young dudes came up with it. You know what I mean? We let them come up with the acronym, but it's others to it. But they created the whole thing. So every morning and every night before they lock up, they say it. You know what I'm saying? The young brothers created that. But in the prison, like they thought that it was gonna fail. Even dudes that it was like, that shit didn't work. So a lot of people ain't really want to go up there. You know what I'm saying? So they really is innovative and creative in a way, but only because they don't be having faith that dudes can take responsibility or something. So when we got into space, they just let us do what we wanted to do. So one of the things that we did, and everybody in the joint can really remember this. You remember when you first was coming to jail, you probably was catching tickets for whatever, probably paying your door, whatever you catch tickets for. Yeah, some people are like that, right? But when you get a ticket and you go to SAG, it ain't no conversation with you. A lot of times dudes be going through shit and they'll catch a ticket. So now you re-traumatizing dudes. You know what I mean? So as a group, we sat down and just thought about ways like, don't get these dudes tickets, man. Let's talk to them and give them an impression, but they don't go to the box. Let's try to figure out what's going on with them. So that was one of the things that the brothers came up with together. But we used our experience. A lot of the rules that we tried to create, whether it was right or wrong, brothers had good intent. And they was just trying to create the space from their experience that could stop some of the stuff that they was experiencing going through this hellhole. But not only going through the hellhole, some of us was in and out of prison. So we was trying to give our insights into the program. How can we stop that? It's a new generation. So sometimes you're going to miss the mark. You know what I'm saying? I think one of the problems with the program was not really talking to them young dudes and trying to let them build some of the ideas so it can be created.
Let me ask you a question though. We outside now. Y'all have a PlayStation in there?
No.
You sure?
Positive.
Yo, because I was in Cheshire. Yo, they get whatever job they want.
Yeah.
They out all day. But Cheshire, we're locked up 22 hours a day.
Yeah. But
They're
y'all
out.
not like that.
They're blocked. No,
it was y'all had a whole block.
They had a whole block.
Yo, I came there.
Y'all came
there.
and I went down.
Yeah.
I went down that day.
Yeah.
Because we didn't play them.
Yeah.
I went to SAG in the hole for not playing basketball with the True program. And I got shipped back to McDougal.
Because
I came here that day. No. Yeah, they didn't want to play. They tried to make us play. The youth program went on Friday. They tried to make us play on Tuesday. We just played on Friday too. We're 40 and better.
Yeah.
Let us hit.
Yeah, I was hurt.
Yeah, let us hit.
Yeah.
Yo, I can
said
take
no. And 60 minutes was there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
60, that's what happened. 60 minutes was there, and we told them we wasn't playing.
I want to make a note though, yo, because it's like you hinting at something, yo, and I do agree with you, like, yo, the distinction between the way they had that unit, like the majority of people is in an ill situation, but the minority is not, right? But at the same time, that shit gave dudes access because now when dudes go home, so everything has a negative and positive. But this is what I want to know. Like one of the problems when my lawyers was fighting for me to come home, one of the things that was like irking me is to know, like, yo, and I ain't downgrading myself. I am who I am. I think the way I think, and I'm confident in that. But it's a lot of dudes in there that need to be home right now, bro. Yeah. Some more than me, bro.
Yeah.
Now I want to be home. I'm not trying to say I shouldn't be. I'm glad I'm home. But you understand what I'm saying? Dudes that's not in the college programs, that's not in the true unit, but in the unit.
Dudes that change their lives, or dudes that's actually innocent.
Dudes that's actually innocent and dudes that change their lives. Because if you was in there and you changing your life and you doing certain stuff and you helping other people, like to be under those conditions and still have your integrity, your honor, your motherfucker, you carrying yourself in a certain kind of way. That's not easy, bro. Dudes, the inner shit that the old dude told me, he was like, yo, man. I said, yo, man, how the fuck you do this shit? He said, well, I've been down 28 years. I was only down 5 years at that time. He said, yo, man, every day I might lose my mind, bro. He said, yo, I seen some of the realest dudes coming in after 15 years, they break down. It's not the same person. Sure. And you know what I'm saying? One dude I saw, man, in the chow hall, I didn't see that nigga in for like 5 years. They told me he was in Ghana. He had a mental breakdown, bro. So, them dude, if you can live that, still, you got dudes in there taking care of their family, bro. Getting $30, $40 up. Come on, man. Put that motherfucker in the world and see what he's gonna do. So, I always gotta try to honor those dudes, yo. You know what I mean? I got life I want to live, but that's the point. How do we get all the dudes to be seen, bro? How do you get people out here to advocate for them dudes, bro?
What do you think you could do to do that, dude?
We gotta do it, bro. Dudes coming home right now, like, yo, man, we gonna change the world, bro. Yeah. See, the thing for me, man, if the imagination is from God, right? And you abusing, anything you imagine, they couldn't imagine that you had airplanes 200 years ago. Yeah, somebody built that shit. You dig what I'm saying? Motherfuckers can create something beautiful, man. We the ones that's gonna do it because we feel it the most, bro. But we gotta be together. Like, seeing you and Moody, after doing all that time, whatever was happening in the street, look what y'all doing right now. Now imagine dudes just doing that. It ain't nothing personal, bro. Like, we was doing all this crazy shit in the hood. Even if you don't like me, let's own this shit. Let's fuck the beef and let's beef with money. I'ma still help you and you help me, man. Let's get it, man. We suffered enough. You dig what I'm saying? That's the solution, bro. And you do it because, you ever see a dude in the prison, he ain't even got the dudes. Dudes creating all types of shit. I saw a motherfucker create a triple-decker cake in that motherfucker that looked like a cake from a wedding.
Yeah. Out of soap.
Yeah.
Out of flour and sugar and baking soda.
That's what I told my wife. She like, yo, how people? I said, yo, in prison, it's really a community. It's stuff that you like, yo, the talent that you got, that you doing right here, if you do that out there, you went to school for that, you like, nah. It's just something passionate about.
I seen dudes get soap, the Lisa soap, and create sculptures with the Lisa soap. Like I seen this dude make a fireman, right? Painted it, everything. He made a fireman with the Lisa soap and the 9/11 building. Like when the building came down, he made debris with it, and the building messed up with a real fireman.
Dude's crazy.
Right there.
Yo, you know the
Soap,
tables?
my dude.
Yo, you know the tables in South Block? I saw a motherfucker take the thing from out of the coffee pot in the kitchen, stole the coffee pot, broke that shit down, and made a grill in his cell, bro.
Yeah. Off the metal table.
Off the metal table. Yeah. Made a grill, bro.
Yeah. Frying
everything, whatever you want.
Yeah.
Bologna, I was frying bologna up there.
So now imagine, and then he got dudes out there helping him.
Yeah.
So now dudes come home, and you got the two, and you seeing the world like you like, yo, dudes start coming together. Dudes gonna create something amazing, bro.
Yeah. Just like them dudes who created them engines that run on water. And you know what happened to them, though. Took them out.
That's
up. Yeah, man. So boom, the True program. Now we out. What we doing right now out here on these streets, man?
What you into?
Yo, like, you know, I've been lucky, man. I was lucky. And like me personally, you know, man, just to let people know, like, yo, I ain't had no education. I ain't had none of that shit. But anybody that know me in the joint, yo, I learned the law on my own. But it was old school dudes. I mean, I'm in there and I'm asking them questions, and then they just tell me, like, motherfucker, I already taught you this shit. And then your life is against the wall, and yo, you start reading these books, you learning how to read them.
So you had no education?
I had no education. I got kicked out of school
Where you at now?
in the 9th grade.
Where you at now?
Yeah, I got a bachelor's degree.
Where you
I got
at
a bachelor's degree in philosophy, and I'm at Yale right now.
You at where?
Yeah, and I'm going to get my PhD.
You from where? The hood?
Yeah, I'm hood.
And you go to Yale?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so, like,
And you about to get a PhD.
but this is the thing that I want to say is that, yo, like, even parents in the hood, right? Think about when you shutting down a kid's imagination, yo, because you dealing with so much shit. Now the kid don't feel like he got the capacity to learn. That kid right there that you keep stuck because you hurting is the kid that can bring you out of this poverty if you let him play and be free. You know, you're checking when you set up the boundaries, but you gotta have space for them. But the point that I want to make, it was in prison that I learned I could read. And I hated math. I got the calculus too. Anybody that did a math class, calculus is hard as hell.
No doubt. Calculus top notch.
Motherfucker that felt like he was stupid, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not a tough nigga. I'm not, yo, I never come into these spaces. I was this tough nigga. I do tough shit at moments.
Yeah.
Because you live in that environment. Then, you know, to be honest, yo, because, you know, you got to always keep it real. I fell into drugs, smoking booze. You know, that was the 90s, sniffing cane. And then, you know, you turn into, you stealing for that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, that just created a situation where, for me, where I always got to be honest, is that, yo, the worst thing that you can do, and to premise it, is that, yo, KRS-One said, yo, you know why the world fucked up? Because everybody living into the lie. So now if you living into the lie, you could be whoever the fuck you want to be. But deep down inside, you know you're not that.
No doubt.
And a lot of niggas be killing niggas because you don't want that motherfucker to see inside of you, bro.
No doubt.
Now I ain't saying, yo, you might just be that real nigga that I don't know. But yo, that shit is an echoes from slavery. And the thing, like, yo, what I learned in the joint is that, yo, when I used to be in a relationship or just watching the prison is like a lab, and the True Unit really gave me the ability to really just sit back because dudes all out all day. And I'm, you know, I got this thinking that's going on because I'm in school, so I'm looking and I'm like, oh shit, yeah. One, dudes is seeing each other through the eyes of some imaginary thing. Two, these niggas don't even know who they are, bro.
What's the imaginary thing?
The imaginary thing is this idea of the street.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Think about it, man. And Moody, you know, pardon me for using this example. Me and Moody in the cell, nobody see it. Everybody at rep. Moody slapped the shit out of me. I go to my room. I'm in the cell. I'm like, you know how that cell playing on you? I'll come out and try to do something to Moody because he slapped. Because I'm thinking, yo, nobody saw it. Moody might not even want to ever tell anybody. right? But that's that eye from outside. And that's the minute where you forget that, yo, if you got anybody in your life, this for the young dudes, if you got anybody in your life that love you, before you make a decision and end up in prison for 30, 40, 50 years when you got a little sister, a little nephew that love you to death, and if you leave, you're gonna fuck up their life. Before you make a fucked up decision, know what love is, because the streets don't love us, bro. But I make a bad decision for the streets.
No doubt.
You dig what I'm saying? So that just go back to the point of, I never, so whatever I was doing out there, I knew that wasn't me, man. I'm just a cool nigga. I like to have fun, but just getting caught up, living into this fantasy, bro. You dig what I'm saying? And I feel like, yo, niggas respecting me in the joint, because when I learned that, I just moved like I wanted to move. Dudes would call me bugged out, whatever. I ain't had a fight since 1998.
Yeah.
That nigga in his lane, leave that nigga alone. Carry that shit out here. Niggas don't shine. That ain't my business here. Because I was raised in the hood and I was there. I know that, yo, if it's not your business, don't talk about it. Don't have no business with that. And dudes gonna respect you for that. You can be you, yo.
Mind your business.
Mind your business and do you.
Yeah.
And dudes is gonna respect it if it's sincere and it's honest. You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn that, yo. And I learned that in the joint. And I did, and that, yo, like, I was sitting in the cell one day. South one. Mike Brandon was my cellie, he went to court. So now I'm in the cell by myself. Now I'm fighting my case by myself, bro. I went to the United States Supreme Court. They slid the motherfucking shit. You know, anybody that fight their case, you always try to wait to read that shit open or something. They gonna say, you get to the point of denial, I'm sitting on the toilet. I'm like, yo, I got 13 years in, nigga. I got 37 years left. How the fuck I'm gonna do this shit, yo?
Yeah.
Yo, I broke down and I cried, yo. Jumped in the bunk, fell asleep, woke up and moving my hands and shit. And I was like, yo, I appreciated that I wasn't paralyzed and I had the ability to think. But then I looked at the cell and I remember like, yo, it's the state of Connecticut versus Clyde Meikle. And I realized that everybody out here taking shit personal. Moody would tell me some real shit like, yo, say I'm working for Moody for a day. Because he's my man, you know, and now he getting professional on me. I'm taking it personal, but it ain't personal, nigga. I ain't got no time for that shit. You have niggas in the joint that if they call no rec, nigga ain't thinking about nobody else. He thinking that the prison is doing something to him. You taking shit personal, bro. Nipsey said the illest shit. He said, yo, I'm on the 405 caught up in traffic. He got a different perspective on it because now he got time to think. But the point that I want to make is that, yo, when we taking shit personal all the time, you can't see that, yo, this shit ain't personal, yo. And I say, oh shit, this cell ain't made for Clyde Meikle, nigga. This shit made for anybody, nigga. I'm getting the fuck up out of here, bro. The last stage is the United States Supreme Court. Everything after that it's impossible. They say it's a Herculean task to get a second habeas. We all heard that fighting our cases. It's a Herculean task, meaning that, yo, 99% of the dudes that do a second habeas is not getting out of here. But you still staying up at 4, 5 o'clock in the morning, reading law and trying to figure that shit out, bro. Yo, niggas that's coming home, what I appreciate about niggas, yo, is that niggas out here is on the grind. And yo, niggas is moving like dudes was in there moving to save their lives in the law. I might not hit this time, but nigga, I know it's something here. Niggas is figuring it out. Nobody doing no real bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So our experience was fucked up, but it's not bad, bro. Because we had to go through it. Like somebody said the other day, it's lost time. I said, yo, it ain't lost time. I ain't lose my mind. Something came out of that shit and I'm about to use that shit. So, you know, like being up there.
It's not lost time if you're using your mind.
You're using your mind.
Right.
And that's our think tank. You got, dudes out here got spaces. All we did in the joint was think. We know we got dudes that can think all day. We need to open up spaces where these dudes can get paid to think. Learn about this shit and tell us, yo, how to operate. That's what they do. They go to the universities, they pay people to think for them. Yeah. We got thinkers right there in the prison, bro.
So what are programs you working on right now? We were talking about, I want you to tell people the program.
I work for the Vera Institute of Justice. I was lucky because, you know, I got my for me, man, it was like, you know, a reward for a lot of the hard work that I did. You know what I mean? The pain and the suffering. And I'm not saying that, you know, fully because somebody lost their life. And I always got to acknowledge that because that was my cousin. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't no random dude in the street, an argument with your cousin, dealing with all this shit. Most of the time, dudes in the hood kill the person that's most close to them. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, like, I got out on May 24th and got my bachelor's degree at Wesleyan University on my birthday.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And, you know, I got to shout out my boy James Jetta. He kind of like helped me, you know, navigate the people that was organized around me to get a job. You know what I'm saying? And we still got an office downtown, 178 Temple Street. You know what I mean? Doing some work with the vote and all of that. You know, them brothers, I wasn't there. They helped them dudes. Dudes that's coming home. If you was a felon, you could vote, bro. If you choose to vote, if you believe in that shit. Because dudes that was in Detroit home fighting for that.
Tell them again.
You can go vote. If you're on parole, go down there and vote. You know what I mean? Get vote for Moody in 2 years. We need him in a spot. You know what I'm saying? DARC MOODY. You know what I mean? The governor. You know what I mean?
And
You running for governor?
Yeah, 5
I
years.
might run for something one day, man. You know what I mean? I gotta get this joint together, but I'm gonna run, man. I'm gonna run for something.
Go for governor. You turning Connecticut out.
Yeah, word. But
Just
so
let
you-
me get a dispensary, man.
So
When
yeah,
y'all
the
get
programs, man, that you into, you know what I mean? Tell the people about the programs you into and tell the youth why it's important not to take the same steps that you took that got you into the prison and how we could learn here on these streets.
I think that, yo, like, just like when we was in the streets, yo, the young dudes, and this is the thing, they the most honest dudes in our society.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you why. Some people might not agree with this. They're gonna tell you what they feel. The dudes be talking about these demons. That's pain, bro. But you reading it the wrong way. And then it's an articulation of a society that claim to be a Christian nation, and they taking the opposite of that because that's how they feel. This is how you're making them feel like you're not opening up spaces where they can flourish and be who they want to be. They caught up in the stuff where they got to perform this bullshit. So some of the things that I want to do right now is like, it's all in my head because I'm taking my time. I ain't in no rush. I don't need no whole bunch of money. You know what I mean? Even if it's just me, man, sharing ideas with my brothers and then my brothers taking their brilliance and making it what they want to do that. I want to go to college and get my PhD and be a college professor and use hip hop as philosophy to get young people in the hood interested in philosophy. But my overall goal is also to get people in the community, man, especially brothers that from certain hoods. Like, yo, if these people ain't creating policies for us that will help us be in better relationships with each other, we need to be putting together policies for ourselves. And we don't need you. And when we do it, we're going to come and we're going to tell you, yo, these are the policies we want in place. Because since we created these policies, there ain't been no violence in this community. The stress been down, and this is what we telling you we want. But it's dudes like y'all that been in the hood, that people respect. Not only that, y'all dudes was in that in the day, but now y'all here and y'all doing things to transform the community. You know what I'm saying? And if they get behind you, like, yo, these dudes can be in these offices, man, and we can create new ways, yo, to relate with each other. Because I think we the only ones that can make the world better, but because of white supremacist logic and they want to maintain their power over us, and they want to be our masters instead of being in better relationships with us, this is what they want because it's productive. They make money off of this. You know what I'm saying? But we can do it without them. What you gonna do? Come down here and kill us all? Man, shit, I'm 51. How much more time I got to live? You ain't take it. I got some responsibility in that, but yo, like I'm scrambling to live right now. A lot of us, you 45. You might not want to say your age, but
we been in
there for decades, bro. It's people out here. They own property. They got all these different things. Imagine if dudes like y'all, when y'all was out here, when I go downtown, this is the last thing I'm gonna say. Any major city that I go to, I see these big buildings here. The first thing that pop in my head is like, yo, why the real niggas I know don't own this shit?
Yeah.
That's the people with the real power. Dudes want to own houses. Why not stop thinking about like, yo, how can we own this and get the community in here to make the community a better place?
Wow.
It might sound impossible, but You didn't think you was coming home.
Yeah,
I didn't think I was coming home.
It's possible.
We made the impossible possible, bro.
Yo, listen, man, it's been great. We're gonna have you back on the show. Word is bond. They gotta have us. Yo, we like to build. You know what I'm saying? You did some good build session, man.
This is the day room.
Yo, I want people to
Eye
know.
opener.
This is the day room.
You know what I'm saying? You see the fashion, the no snitching shirt. It's fashion,
Oh,
man. Mind your business and all that. It's fashion. So go to the world. You know what I'm saying? 59 Welly Avenue, and go get you some drip, man. You know what I mean?
I got a question.
My boy Rock, he run that joint. He the man been doing this joint for like 30 years with the clothing, man. Probably longer than that. You know
I got
what
a
mean?
question, Doc.
But what's up?
First,
Yo, this black owned garments, is civilized. You know what I mean? So you could go down there to the world, 59 Welly Avenue, right across from Evelyn's, right next to the
Oh, yeah,
sample
baby.
shop.
Yo, y'all heard them. They said they gonna bring me back. I'm hungry as hell. There ain't no fried chicken in here
You know
or
what I'm
no
saying?
pizza for the
Hold
brother.
on, but listen, outside of that, if you hungry,
you gotta go
you
to
gotta
East.
go to La Isla, Spanish restaurant, 2779 Dixwell Avenue in Hampton, Connecticut. Go get the Juan Castillo special, that roast con pollo. Get
Ask when you get there.
actual little
Today is we're gonna do a birthday weekend. Ask Lil Dark, be like, yo, I heard it's somebody's birthday. She gonna tell you it's King
King Joffrey Joe Fleur.
It's King's first birthday.
His daddy Dark birthday.
If y'all can remember that name, the food is free if y'all can remember that name. But that's what I want to know. You said that outfit, you supposed to be my man. Where mine's at? I want to rock mine. You got me in a white tee.
Yeah, we gotta go. You gotta go to the world, but we gonna get it for you, man.
You gotta you come here.
The world. Hey, yo, and it's an acronym, man, for we own the rights to live our dreams. Word. We own the rights to live our dreams. That's what the world stands for. But yo, yeah, man, Dark and Moody, all or nothing.
Peace
We was
to
a little
Juan.
long. We winded today, but we out, man. And next week we got a treat for y'all.
Oh no, we got a double treat for y'all.
We got a double treat for y'all. You know what I'm saying? Word. And we out.
Double triple treat.